People, deluded. Good morning on this Friday morning. I hope you're all well and safe. I wasn't planning on doing this vid. Now, it's been 2 days since we lost in humiliating fashion in the Europa League. You lot have probably done your own diagnosis. What went right, if anything? What went wrong, if anything? Everything. And all of these sort of things and stuff like that. Now, I can't speak for no other YouTubers or any Arsenal fans, but I ain't got no agendas to push. Obviously, there's players I like, players I don't like and things, but I love my football club more. Maitland-Niles, now, he's catching a lot of heat. A lot of it is fair criticism. It's a weird one depending on how you look at it, because I believe he played well, but he obviously let himself down as the team did in moments. The application, the desire was there. It's a Europa League final, and that's been with him all Europa League. You look at Napoli in games there. I'm not looking for Maitland-Niles to make the difference. I'm looking, again, everyone played poor, so I'm not here to say someone played better than the other, but I'm looking at Ozil, I'm looking at Aubameyang, I'm looking at Lacazette, I'm looking at the defence, including but excluding Maitland-Niles to the example. I'm looking at our experienced individuals, our flag bearers, people that Koscielny, possibly your last game, losing Giroud, someone you know very well. The strikers stopped pressing. Went Ozil, you don't know what happened. Midfield tried, but they were overrun ultimately. Defence switching off, not following runners. Everybody's quick to jump on Maitland-Niles, but nobody's speaking about Monreal losing Pedro. Nobody's speaking about Koscielny. Yes, you look even look at the Emerson goal where it's an early cross. I thought Maitland-Niles could have done better to close that cross down, but go and look how the goal started. This goes from one side of the field to the other. Too many people see one action and don't see the whole sequence and things like that. The penalty we conceded, Maitland-Niles, is shocking. You know, Giroud is twice your size, but he's a street-smart striker. The contact's there, he's going to go down. He's on the wrong side. And that's been a theme with Maitland-Niles. But look at the build-up to it. Go and look at the build-up to these things, people. He ultimately has to pay the price. Go and look at the build-up. The one goal that he lost the ball for that I believe isn't his fault as well. Not even his fault. The other goals he had a part in to play. He was very unlucky because I can't understand it. It's a foul on him and they went and scored. Go and look at the sequence. We win together, we lose together, we draw together. Stop scapegoating players, especially the younger players, the Haaland boys. Shouldn't be looking. I saw Maitland-Niles from start to finish. Application, yes, he got ripped down the left-hand side and ultimately and stuff. But if you're Chelsea, is that not a side you're going to target? You know he's not a left-back now. Maitland-Niles, the biggest gift and the curse that I like about him, and it kind of annoys me, is that he's extremely cool in possession. When you're in defence, you've got to be switched on a bit more. And at times, obviously, he's not always awake to situations. I know he's not naturally a fullback, and how much can you expect of him if he's not naturally a fullback? But you get the point. Added to that, people, as well, yeah? If you're Chelsea, you're going to target that hand side. Now, I feel, is there any coincidence, people? Admittedly, it's the wrong side, but just so it looks a bit better, I might as well switch them. In fact, do I have to? Let me bring this closer. Does it make sense? Yeah, it does of sorts. People, ignore everything in this far cool. In fact, take it off for you, man. It's in the way for no reason. Now, silly me, I should have done it this way. But you see our back three. Put Leno in there. And put their other keeper. But you see our back three. I lie, people. You see our back three. You see our fullbacks. Is it any coincidence in the initial stages of the first half, Maitland-Niles had a better game because we were pressing as a team. We're not good defensively, so even playing with wing-backs is dangerous. You're going to see gaps in our play. You're going to see gaps in our team, which Chelsea exploited. To really thrive with fullbacks, you need to be good defensively. Look at Liverpool, to be honest with you. They're good in both ends. And as much as I like our fullbacks, we praise up both-sided fullbacks. Even when Bellerin's here, we praise them for what they're doing going forward. Not necessarily defending. Shout out to Bellerin because I can't wait until he's back. Maitland-Niles, similar to Maitland-Niles is very casual at times. He must improve in that he's played enough games. Similar to Guendouzi, holds on to the ball too long, or Mustafi likes to get tight, or Xhaka can be casual. There's many players that keep doing the same thing and don't want to fix up and pattern. But is it any coincidence? When we was pressing Chelsea for that first half an hour, our fullbacks were better going forward, people. No doubt about it. Defensively, we need to work on it. But is it any coincidence when our fullbacks are up here, our strikers continuously pressing, our midfield getting up? Obviously, I don't need to draw it for you, but the team has to get up high up the field, and our centre-halves did as well. Is it any coincidence that Chelsea had no outball and Maitland-Niles was having a better game? But what did you see, people? The minute we stopped doing this, and we people started to walk and things like that and stop pressing as much, Maitland-Niles had to go backwards. And then what did you start seeing, people? You started seeing Emerson having joy coming up here, Hazard in pockets, Giroud started to come into play, Hazard's drifting in and out. ultimately they're doubling up against him. Let me move you out the way, make it a back three again. They're doubling up against him, people. Triples. Look at the 1-2s. They're doubling up against him. Of course he's going to find it tough. Now, again, he played poorly, but this is where, and I don't even think it's Unai Emery's fault, but this is where you've got to do something, and he did it in the second half. Ironically, when Aubameyang lost the ball in the for the fourth goal, you've got to change formation. You've got to probably do something along the lines of that. Wait, that's our two strikers. You've obviously got Maitland-Niles. You've got to kind of keep it the same, but you've got to make man come back. You've got to have Maitland-Niles there. You've got to peg what's his face? Aubameyang back. You've got to make Aubameyang, at least with Aubameyang's pace and Aubameyang out there, it's a threat. And you've got to make one of our midfield cover that space. Ozil obviously dropped people. And then you've got Torreira. Kohler has to come back. And then you go with Lacazette as a lone striker or make him drop. That's where you started seeing overloads, people. Is it any coincidence? It's no coincidence. Go and look at all of the goals. It's not just Maitland-Niles. And again, people, he played, everyone had a poor game. We lost 4-1. I'm not here to say this, that and the other. But I've got more sympathy for these young players because at the end of the day, they're from Hayland. They come from our academy. They stood up to be counted. Maitland-Niles might have made his mistake, but did he curl into a ball? Did he hide into a shell like some of our most experienced players that have been here for us time and time again and scored goals and did things that got us to this round? No. Joe Willock come off the bench. Iwobi done his thing. Now, Iwobi's had a decent season, but he might have started and might have had the same game. You've seen fans that are praising Joe Willock right now were killing him when he started against Newcastle, and Maitland-Niles is getting praised and then critiqued in 1 week. Fans talking so many extremes. Again, he had a part to play in the game, in the goals. I'm not saying he was amazing and stuff like that. I definitely don't think he played as badly as some are suggesting. And more away from the performance, I'm not a fan of this scapegoating business that happens, man. Just killing, especially the young players, just killing them before they've started. Like, get behind him. Everyone talks about young players and this and that. He's not a fullback. I think he's played enough times to learn certain things, but he's not a fullback. He's not even that. He's not the most defensive-minded of players, full stop. He can win a ball back. But you can see how it's a recipe at fullback. It's shoehorning dons. Maybe that's why we're linked with certain Belgians from PSG. Again, opinions are free, but there's good opinions. If he played poorly, I can't say no. I'm not contesting that. He played good on one hand, he played poorly on the other. But what I'm specifically speaking about, people, is the vile, over the top. Some of the comments I've seen, stuff like he's going to join, again, I don't even want to mention it, but he's going to join his mum. Obviously, if you've seen some of the reports, allegedly his mum was living in a storage container or whatever. Don't even want to speak about a man's personal life. I wouldn't like that if it was me. But it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous how fans can just do, quite frankly, pardon my language, fuckery, people. What kind of nonsense are that? But on that note, I've got nothing more to say, so I'm going to get out of here. People, thank you for watching as usual. Deluded, I'm out.